Hey there, RGC. Welcome to another video. I just want to show you guys Backcountry. So Backcountry is my latest um, map. It's a major edit, basically, of the Yukon. Um, this is your loading screen here. That's where we're gonna start. So like you're coming into the map, so you guys can see where you spawn when we go in. But before we spawn in, just gonna give you a little spiel of the reasoning of why I built this map. So the Yukon was starting to get a little bit away from my style of play. I was going towards more of the community and adding in the train systems and stuff, which I do like the train systems. It's not all of it, but there's a lot going on in the map, a lot more than I prefer. There's the placeables in there. There's a dirt plants. There's a wash plants. Things that are already built in the map. My style of play is basically you develop your land with nothing. There's nothing in the map. You got to create your fields. If you want to do farming, you got to create the area for your placeables and for your wash plant. You got to dig in your dirt mines for your dirt production, oil production, everything. You got to design it with the end game editor. Given the canvas that's open. Yukon gave you more direction, so I kind of took that template and created Backcountry. The biggest thing I wanted to do with Backcountry is add trees covering the whole entire map. Yukon, due to performances and stuff, I wanted everybody to have good performance. I limited the trees, and there's a lot of wide open areas. Basically, there's 45,000 trees on the Yukon. In Backcountry right now, there's over 250,000. So add 200,000 trees into the map, gives it a crazy like remote feel, like you're basically just stranded in the middle of nowhere, which is exactly what I want. So I hope you enjoy. We're gonna start it up here, basically at the start point. The start point is at a bus, basically it's the bus from I believe the Platinum DLC. So if you don't have that, you probably won't have this start point. But anyway, you're gonna start out with the bus, and yeah, you're in the middle of the map. You're gonna do the PDA here. This is dead center, basically, of the map. You're dropped off. You found your way here, and you're gonna have to make yourself a living here, or you can go anywhere you want. So looking at this PDA, you can tell that there is one pretty much single road. It basically starts at one little point here. It follows the river all the way down and around. It's just one long road. It does branch off here to go into this spot, but basically it's a big horseshoe. It comes back up to this point. So these 2 points are basically ports, so to speak. This right here, it looks like a train. It is a train spline, but this is actually a barge. We're going to switch right here real quick so you can see it. This is a barge that you can rent, and I might as well do it right now just to show you guys. And it's going to stop. You can tab into it. You cannot enter it by swimming to it. You have to tab into it. So once it stops and comes back, it is yours to use like a train. You're going to have to build your dock system or whatever you want to get to the boat to load it. It's as close as it's going to get is right there. So if you know the stopping point of where the boat's going to be, you can easily go into RGC tab here and go into other. And I do have a couple dock systems that you can use. This is the one I use, basically. So you know the boat's going to stop there. It actually stops back here, but since it went by its stopping point, it's not going to come back because you're close enough. But anyway, you're just going to kind of place it over the water like this. You don't want to place it on land because it'd be too high. This is designed to be level with that barge, so when you place it over the water, it would be perfect height. So I don't know where it's going to go. Again, it's kind of, I could reverse it to where I need to, so let's do that real quick just to show you guys. I'm gonna tab into it and reverse it to a spot where I like and put the dock up to it. Seems like a good spot here. We're gonna put the brakes on, get an idea of how far out. It stops like a real boat too, right? Shift P will bring this up. Other, still moving, isn't it? But you get an idea. So there, now you can load it right up nice and close. Boom. Then you can do your terraforming with the landscape tool, level it off, and you got a nice dock where your boat that you rent comes up, and that's the sell point. All you have to do, and I may do it, so now I'm in the boat, you hit end, this opens it up. I'm just going to fill it up with a product just to show you guys this process, because some people may not understand this. So I just filled it up with wheat. So now, basically, when you drive your barge off the map, so you're in it and you drive it off the map, it acts like a sell point. So we're just going to do that real quick. Probably shouldn't go in reverse, it's not as realistic, right, going in reverse. But it is a train, but we're doing this just to show and tell. It holds 5 million liters. And also, while I'm doing this, I have also updated RGC mods as well, and I've fixed the barges to fit the backcountry map. I haven't really gone into Yukon, other versions and whatnot to change the water depths and make them fit properly. I just went in there, fixed them up to fit backcountry. So the new and latest RGC mods, which you can get onto the website, will have this barge that you can drive anywhere you want, and a oil tanker, a regular transport barge, and a log barge. So 4 different barges. All should be set up nicely for you now. Just like that, it kicks you off the boat, and it says this train will drive with the Rockwood Barge Transport and will return to the other side. Do you want the train to sell the loaded goods that Rockwood Barge Transport? I say yes, and $6 million for that load. Okay. So that is the whole barge transport system there. So we're going to come back here. And now we're just going to do a quick flyover of the map. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I kind of told you in the opener what my idea was. It's just to give you a more remote feel and style. You're going to get to see how much forest area there is. There's a lot of plenty of places, flat areas to do fields. You're just going to have to clear forest to do so. You can see the more flatter terrain. It has a more dense forest. These areas here that are kind of more open is you're going to get a little bit more of a slope. But everywhere has a rolling hill feel, so you can do fields basically anywhere that you want if you're into farming. Obviously, you got thousands of trees that you need to remove, which you can get money for, chips, or for logs, and you can do sawmills or whatnot to make money while you get ready to do your fields. So yeah, we kind of follow the river here. This is a road that I put in. You can kind of tell that it's a raised road just a tiny bit to get it feel like a remote road would. When you build it, you kind of mount it, sticks up a little bit from. You kind of see it further up I am. A nice road, plenty wide enough. No trees in the way. Very good. So we're going to come here to this new kind of mountain range. I wanted to split up the south part of the map. So this right here is considered the south part. This was all wide open field terrain area on a Yukon, so I wanted to add this to kind of split this up a little bit. You can obviously have plenty of farmland here, plenty of farmland and through here. I moved this river more at the very end of this mountain range here, so it's not in the middle. So you have plenty of field area, or you can do gold mining. This is a prime place to set up your wash plants and kind of cut out the river or stream coming down through here up in the valley. Really good spot to do your gold mining. So yeah, to split up this area, I put in this little mountain range. Here, there's also a coal mine that goes through this, so you can clear the coal mine and actually have a way to access pass through here if you like. It's a pretty cool little feature. You have to clear it though. First, it is terrain, so you have to dig out the terrain using Terraform to clear out your tunnel. To get through here, you're gonna have to build a road to get access. This actually is not updated to this coal mine, so it's kind of hidden. I kind of did it on purpose. After I built it, or after I did the PDA, I built the coal mine. I left it out on purpose because I want it kind of hidden. So it is here. This mountain range kind of comes up further over like this, and the coal mine goes through right there. So you have to build access in through here with the road to get to that. But yeah, I got this split up now, so a little bit less room for fields, but definitely brings out the map a little bit more, for sure. Nice little erosion. Tried to add to make it look more realistic mountainside. And this right here is the coal pet mine here, or you can do anything you want. You can terraform any type of material you want. I just kind of reenact coal. And the reason why I have it like this is this terrain only goes up as high as this roof right here, all the way through. Okay, so when you terraforming this, you don't have to dig out the whole mountain. You're only digging out about 15 feet worth of material, high worth of material versus 200 meters worth of material. Makes it for quicker tunneling. You're not scooping one scoop and it only goes like a tenth of an inch, into the mountain. So yeah, this is where the coal mine is, the new coal mine. Like I said, this little point right here you can't see on the PDA. I did this to hide these rocks from a distance, so if you're over there, you're not going to see these rocks. It's just, they disappear at a certain clip distance. So it looks like there's a hole in the mountain. So that's why I did that. Like that. So you're just going to fly around here. Obviously all this is new. Very nice remote feel. Like I said, anywhere you go on here, you're going to feel like you're in the backcountry. That's kind of what we call it here. Up north country, backcountry. Full of trees everywhere you go, so building roads, it's going to be a struggle. It's technically, you can call it a hardcore Yukon if you want, so to speak. Like I said, this valley here gives you plenty more land on the north side of it to do your fields if you like, or you can plenty of room to put your wash plants in, and you can completely mine out this stream, which is kind of what we plan on doing. 16 times the map, so you definitely got plenty of farmland, flat land to do so. So this whole south part, if you want to do gold mining, there's plenty of places in the north. Just gonna kind of wrap back around. There's not a whole lot more up through here. Just kind of give you guys a view of some runoff water here. There is no upper water plains in this map either, so you can dig in these streams going up the sides of those mountains and not worry about hitting water plains and sinking vehicles or anything like that. There's only one water plane, and that's right here at this terrain. It's set at like between 5 and 7 meters above the ground. So once you get to water, you really can't dig much further. So there's plenty of terrain above the water plane, basically. Mountains you see go very high, so if you want to do a huge dirt pit mine, you'll be a while before you reach water, is basically what I'm getting at there. So coming into this corner here is a little split off with a runoff on the side of this valley here. A nice flat area that you can do anything you like up here. Nice farm if you want. Plenty of trees. There's 4 different types of trees. There's a little trees there that are going to be annoying, I understand. There's 2 smaller, medium-sized trees. One has a thin branch, and another medium-sized tree will have a little bit thicker branch right here. Then we got the tall, thick, and the tall, thin. So there's your 4 different spruces. Then we got some dead trees in here. So that's actually 4, 5, 6 different trees. If you remember, this over here was a huge open pit. I obviously filled it in and made it a mountain. So it's, again, it feels like nothing's been touched. It's just virgin land, and it's you discover it and to develop it. So this right here, we can turn that back into a dirt mine. We're just gonna have to start digging, right? Like I said, this road wraps around. Huge, wide open area, perfect for farming. I added in a lake or a pond over here. You know, you can put a nice farm with a nice pond backdrop. This is what I used to call the Highlands in the Yukon up here. Not a whole lot has changed. Again, there's no water planes. Added in these new rock foliage painting texture here. No bridges, there's no placeables, anything in the map. So everything, bridges, everything you're gonna have to do yourself. I have expanded this upper plateau here, giving you a lot more room. So you want to develop a nice little farm up here, you can, or do gold mining, whatever you like. And this open pit used to be right here, where this big mountain is that can be dug out. Like before in the Yukon, just gonna take you a while. And just getting here, just getting up onto the mountainside is gonna take you a while, because you're gonna have to do a switch back using Terraform just to get yourself up there. You know, there used to be a road that ran up, ran right down through here. You can build that same road if you like, just gonna have to do it. So this right here is a lot different from the Yukon. These waterfalls run down in here. This is more of a bigger pond area here. This is a stream that runs off from there. Kind of moved it over closer to the bottom of the mountain. Makes it more realistic. Most streams and things like that run right at the very bottom of the mountain. So, which runs into this huge lake in the middle of the map. These used to be large fields, so a nice long lake. You can, obviously have fields off the side of it, put in your farms. So it's just endless some other things to do. I'm gonna come right back to our spawn point. This is where we spawn in. Yeah, beautiful spot here in the map. Obviously I added in a stream. Now back here, this was not here in the Yukon. That was more like a runoff rocky area. It's now a stream with a small pond there. See a lot of new features added. The biggest thing is the trees now, right? So we're gonna go back to the PDA real quick and end this video here. Right around 20 minutes. Of course, it's gonna have to save. Always does that. If you're trying to save time, it's gonna take you a while to save because it is a large map with a lot of trees. So it's gonna take a minute. I'll probably speed this up when I edit the video. Alright, so I want to show you this here. This is the farmlands. I decided to make it a grid buying land. Um, and this is more realistic when it comes to like claims and whatnot. You can buy a claim. They're usually in squares. So this is why I did it. I try to make them all exactly the same size. It's just a fun thing to do in the editor. There's no easy way to do it. So the lines aren't 100% perfectly lined up. I did my best. But basically they're going to be about the same price. So 516, 516, 516, 516, 520, 532, 516. You're talking just over 500k. This may change to be a little bit more expensive, but for now I want to make it affordable. This is more for testing. Give you some feedback. If you want a more expensive, more realistic amount of to purchase the land, right now 516. If you start out on hard, you can't even afford to buy land. You're gonna have to take a loan out just to get land. So it is going to be a struggle either way. So I think I got a good spot, but feedback is welcome. Do you think we need to cost more for the land? This is a big piece of land, big chunk, probably in the Yukon or any gold-rich area. It's going to cost you probably 2 or 3 million in real life for a plot of land like this size. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Just want to show you that real quick. Um, so yeah, that's in a nutshell basically it for backcountry. I want to give you guys a more remote, hardcore type of map. And I want to end on this too. There's 250,000 trees. If your PC is not up to date standards when it comes to gaming and whatnot, graphics cards old, you have older RAM, or not a lot of RAM, older processor speeds, it's probably going to struggle with these trees. This is kind of a test for me um, to know more on people that have potatoes for PCs. So if your PC is not up to par with today's technology, let me know how it performs. Go into your settings, change them if you're struggling loading um, this map. It's gonna put a strain on your computer. I have a pretty high-end PC, so I don't notice a whole lot. My frames are typically right around 55 to 60. If I get really, really dense, it goes down into high 50s, mid 40s. I'm also streaming and recording, so it's going to drop lower. You're going to see it drop down to 30 frames every minute. Pretty much set a stop clock to it. Every minute hits, you're going to drop down to 30 frames for about 2 seconds, and it's going to go back to 60 or 50 or whatever your PC is going to run at. Don't be alarmed. It's going to kind of have a little hitchy, grainy look to it when it does it. It's something that happens with 16 times maps. I haven't figured out exactly how to work with it to make it better. I know what to do to fix it, but by fixing it, it doesn't make it a true 16 times map. It's kind of hard to explain without going into too crazy detail that won't make too much sense. But basically, a 16 times map has a certain size, and to load that size up, it puts a huge strain on it, and it drops the frames down to 30. It has to read all the foliage in the map. A 16 times map, the image is 16,384 by 16,384. It's huge. In order for it to process that information, it's going to put a strain on it, and it drops. It does it every minute. Drops frame down to 30 for the 2 seconds it takes to update itself. That being said, I could change it to an 8x or whatever, and still have a 16 size, but the foliage is going to be more spread out. It's not going to look as realistic when you're combining a field, your your grain, whatever, is going to be choppy in front of your sloth. You know what I mean? It's just going to grab chunks at a time instead of very nice, tight lines. This is, again, it's hard to explain. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but in order for it to be a true 16 times map, you're going to have to deal with that drops of frame every minute. It does that on Yukon, does it on all maps. This is something that you're going to have to deal with. I really hope you enjoy this. Let me know, give me some feedback in Discord on RGC testing info, whatever channel in Discord. I'll be looking in there. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you, and see you in the next one.